Our next speaker is Reina Ovinge. She's going to be speaking to us from Baambrugge, which is in the Netherlands. I don't know if I presented it so well, but you'll have to show us around in your beautiful space, Reina. This place is called the Knitwit Stable. And like many of the people that have spoken on World Hope Forum, you used to be doing a different thing. So you used to work in fashion and you changed your life in order to do something more meaningful. So I'll let you explain more about this new chapter in your life, which is so beautiful and so inspiring, and we look forward to hearing about it.
Thank you so much. I have here my little goat, and I thought it's nice to share nature with a sweater, so we can really see what it is all together. I will share my...
So cute.
So thank you for inviting me and being here with also all the people who are very interested. Oh, you bring it back. For bringing us back, for bringing us all together in our mission to give wool a stronger future. I want to share some of the things we do in the Netherlands, and this is not as an example, or not as that it's a solution, but more as an example, and also of what is possible. And I hope this can start a good exchange, so we can all learn from each other. First, a small introduction. I was a fashion buyer, and for 30 years I have been in the fashion industry. First as a buyer, then as a producer in knitwear. And I saw what bulk fashion did. Long, anonymous supply chains, very low prices, and big impact on people, animals, and the land. So at some point, I stopped completely. I didn't want to be part of this system anymore. And then on my birthday, I got 2 goats, Billy and Betsy. And a little bit later, I bought 2 sheep, Track and Trace. And then a total new journey started for me. I learned everything about animals, fibers, and what it means to produce in a slower, more connected way. And so from there, the Knitwit Stable was born, a place with a farm. We have a small-scale production factory. But above all, we have an education center. That's why I started it. And we do knit woolen products. And I can feel in this farm what it is and what it means to produce in a slower, more connected way. Our mission is to bring back the value of wool by building a regenerative system that connects sheep, farmers, land, design, and culture. I will tell a little bit about the situation in wool. This is the situation in the Netherlands. We have approximately 1.5 million kilo each year. The farmers are getting 5 cents per kilo. For black wool, they have to pay. And we have about approximately 800,000 sheep. We have milk sheep, meat sheep, and also sheep for grazing. And it's also the situation in Europe, because half of Europe's wool is unused or undervalued. It's an enormous opportunity for regeneration, and it's enormous waste that we don't use our wool anymore. And even some farmers are burning it. It's really sad. And one of the biggest problems is, I think, the cause of all the problems is the synthetic fiber. As you can see in this, this graphic, in the 1960s, we only had natural fibers. So we had cotton, we had flax, we had wool, and then only sometimes we forget that after 1960, the synthetic fibers came up. So the polyester, the acrylics, the nylon, and they are all oil-based. And also from this 1960, since the rise of these synthetic fibers, we lost also 2/3 of the wild and half of our nature's balance, and along with the carbon harmony that once sustained us. So after 1960, the big chains come. And nowadays, only 1% of what we wear is wool. Well, this is also the current situation. We have a lot of loss and spoil of garments. We send them to Africa or to other parts of the world. And what would it be if wool could replace the synthetics? If it only was 10% of the market, and we would have also, for example, flax and hemp and other nature fibers who can replace the synthetic fibers. Of course, the synthetic fibers, as we all know, are persistent in nature and never will go into soil. And this is also a situation in the Netherlands, what I would like to show. There's a lot of monoculture. We have reduced biodiversity, and they have also exhausted our soil. Sheep are standing in grassland, which we call the green desert. Endless ryegrass, and with no any tree for shelter. So, if you would have another system and would redesign the supply chain and make it a bio-circle, it would be local, transparent, and regenerative. And so if we start with the fiber farming on the land, it can be flax, and the sheep, then we go to the processing. And of course, that's a point which is dangerous, because here we have to check that we are using good detergents and no harmful pigment dyes. Then we have the design and the making. And the design and the make is also quite important, because the designer have already to think how we can recycle it and how we can reuse the things what we are making. And of course, we have the selling and the using. As a customer, we have to refuse things, rethink it, buy less, reduce, bring it to the vintage store, reuse, repair. Well, if we have all this refurbish and repurpose, recycle, and at the moment, only 2% of all clothing is recycled. And so it means that all this synthetic matter is going into the ground. And what if we had the woolen sweater, like this mohair sweater that I'm wearing, has no any synthetics, so it can be compost, it can be organic waste. And this wool can go back into the soil and in the crop. And sheep wool, for example, exists of 80% carbon. So it also sequesters carbon. And then you have a really bio-circle chain. And next to this, I think if we use this cycle, it's also important that we need to shift from a top-down supply chain to a circular, but also equitable model where every player, the farmer to the brand, is valued equally. And now we know that the farmer is not valued equally to the brand, like Lee explained, for example, with Loro Piano. But we have also a lot of challenges. We have a big image problem with the European wool, because European wool would be more strong, which is also true, a bit more yellow, it's dirty, people are not taking care for it. And that's something we have to improve. Then we have the life cycle analysis, the PEF label. And that's an important thing, because now it looks that if the analysis is right and the product environment footprint label, that the polyester t-shirt from Bangladesh has a better label than a woolen sweater from Baambrugge. Sorry. So we need better data, and we have to fight against the fossil industry, and that's really difficult because they have deep pockets. Then we have, of course, the price pressure from the fast fashion and also the fast interior textiles. Nobody has woolen carpets, or not so many people, woolen carpets. Everything is also from synthetic. So as well in the fast fashion, we have also fast interior. And we have quite some processing infrastructure gaps, because or it's very big and huge industrial. You have to bring in the chain, you have to bring your wool to a scouring plant from 1,000 kilo, or it's very artisanal and you have to wash it almost in your bathtub. And then another challenge is that we really start to sort it better, breed better, and shear it for a higher value. So these were more the problems. So what are the examples to change, and what can we do? At the Knitwit Stable, we have 4 types of wool. We have our merino sheep. We have 50 of them, 25 Angora goats. We don't have alpacas, but we collect the alpaca in the Netherlands. And we use a lot of Kempen heat sheep, which is a grazing sheep in the Brabant. So this is more the process, what I want to show you. So we collect Dutch sheep wool. The sheep has to be shorn at least once a year, but also it can be done after 9 months. The fiber length should be around 5 till 7 centimeter. And then it's very important that the wool is sorted. So we have A, B, C wool. So the A wool is the best wool, and the C wool is the wool which might be felted, or the belly or the feet. And then we bale it. And in every step, we show that wool can be processed locally and fairly. So we restore the value for farmers. And if we use the wool, we pay 150. So we pay a much higher market price. So the farmer is willing to shear it in a good way and to sort it in a good way. We don't have any wool processing in the Netherlands, so we are going to Italy or into Belgium. And there is the scouring, that's the first photo. The second photo is the top making, that's after carding and combing, the dyeing and the spinning. After the spinning, it comes back to the Netherlands, and you can weave or knit with the yarn. And we have 3 industrial knitting machines in the Netherlands. And after knitting the panels, which takes about 1 hour, 1.5 hours per sweater, we are going to link the panels together with a special linking machine. And we have a lot of volunteers who are helping us to do the finishing of the garments. And also in this industrial way of working, we have many steps. We have 40 pairs of hands which are needed. And we start from caring about our land, about our animals, the sorting, the spinning, and so on and so on. So before one sweater is made, we at least we need months or a year, from the beginning, from the shearing till the final product, we need a year. But for making in the Baambrugge, we need at least 8 hours. And this is what we make: woolen sweaters, and also from the mohair and from the alpaca. And this is all tailor-made and made to order. So we have only the yarn in stock, and we make only something when a customer is coming, and he can also adapt, make it a little bit longer or shorter, and choose the color. And in this way, we don't have any do not spoil any stock or any garment. We do also make some woven articles like the aukje. And from the wool, which we cannot use for the sweaters, we use as wool fertilizer. And the very small parts which are not long enough to make fibers, we make Dutch design felt. And and of course, in every step we are transparent. We tell where everything is coming from. We have small movies to show how it's made. And also we have price transparency. To make even more impact, we have the Knitwit collaborations. So we work together with AB Blanket. Unfortunately, the AB factory is not existing anymore. In '96, it went bankrupt. It was the last woolen processor in the Netherlands, who was really from scouring to a blanket. So we reinvented this AB blanket again. Then we are working with, for example, Umeco, but also Joline Jolink. and we are making it. She made indigo sweater with our wool. And Jo Merino is really a nice example. We started with 200 sweaters for them, and now we have every year 3,000 sweaters in all the kind of different sweaters. And this shows that we can really replace imported merino from, for example, Australia. Then we have another nice Knitwit collaboration. It's with Xavier. We combine land with the ocean, and we made a woolen carpet dyed with seaweed. But most of all, what I like very much is to educate, because that's the main thing what we should learn people, to connect the nature with the farm again. And we have a lot of students, but also brands, developers, designers. We have the textile schools in the Netherlands, and even we have policymakers from Brussels coming to show them how the process is and how the supply chain is. Because how can you change and be regenerative or even sustainable if you don't know the process and you are not connected to nature? Our future innovations, we're starting with regenerative landscapes. We are making feeding hedges and better herbs in our meadows this winter. For our socks, unfortunately, you need sometimes to add synthetic reinforcement. In the woolen socks, if you don't have nylon, well, you have a hole in one day. So we are checking how we can replace, for example, the nylon or the elastan with bio-based or with hemp or with linen or another natural material. And we are going also to start making pigments, dyeing pigments from willow. And I think we have made a blanket from Dutch wool. And this was really a nice project. And we have a very small 2 minutes, I hope it's still okay, Philip, 2 minute movie. And in this blanket, everything comes together.
Thank you, Reina. I think Ragnar in our New York office is going to play the video for us.
Okay.
An opportunity for me to thank Ragnar and Lelia, who helped me organize this whole forum, not just today, but also in Rome. So thank you to them.
Yeah, so maybe as a last, okay, I will come back after the movie. Yeah.
Generaties lang bood de wollen AB-deken geborgenheid en warmte in talloze Nederlandse huishoudens. Ik wilde met de Knitwit Stable traditie, ambacht, innovatie en duurzaamheid samenbrengen en besloot daarom de wollen deken nieuw leven in te blazen. De AB Knitwit deken wordt gemaakt van wol afkomstig van de Keppische heideschapen. Zij zijn essentieel voor het behoud van Nederlandse heidelandschappen. De wol is met zorg gesponnen en verwerkt in een traditionele dekenfabriek in Noord-Italië. De deken is ongeverfd en heeft haar natuurlijke kleur behouden. Aan het einde van haar levensduur kan de deken terugkeren naar de natuur als voeding voor de bodem.
Philip, I
Zo
can try to
vertelt
share
elk
it
aspect van de wollen deken
on
een
my
verhaal
computer,
waarin elke vezel telt. Van de grazende schapen in het veld tot de deken op je bed. Van de schapen die ons de wol hebben gegeven, van de handen die het hebben gemaakt, tot de mensen die het hebben gebruikt en van de waarde die het vertegenwoordigt. Het is een deken met traditie voor de wereld van morgen.
Thank you, Ragnar, and thank you, Reina. Did you want to say anything to close?
Yes, well, I would love to continue this conversation because this was an example of what we're doing. So please come to me after my session. And I think together across Europe and beyond, if we are working together, we can bring back wool. And wool is not just a textile fiber, it's really a driver for change, I think.
I couldn't agree more. Thank you so much. I know we all couldn't agree more, especially after our time spent listening to all the speakers. So thank you so much. I'm wearing